Hey, hey everybody, hey YouTube, hello all survivors of non-consensual human experimentation. This is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, and it is Friday night, Saturday morning, depending on what your perspective is. It's about 1 a.m. where I am, December 22nd, 2018. Captain's log. I just woke up about an hour ago, and I had to walk to the convenience store down the street because my car died a couple of days ago. So I'm gonna have to take care of that and get a new car, which is gonna be a really hard. I don't know, like it's kind of been my car has been close to dying for a while now. I'm surprised it didn't die on me while I was out. So I guess that's lucky. But I'm gonna have to deal with that. I'm gonna have to stay up all night, and then my parents are in town, so they're gonna kind of help me out. Um, not not doing not doing too great. The grounding works, but I tell you what, guys, it's like while I'm up, I feel okay. I can take kratom and CBD oil, do my grounding, kind of have my less EMF headgear on, and hang out. And I still hear the V2K. It's uncomfortable, but my whole body doesn't feel bad. But when I go to sleep, like when I wake up, I feel like it just still feels bad. Like the grounding's working okay. They're getting a little bit of pulse pain through, but it's still excruciating, past horrific, still. But I want to go through some stuff. Patrick Inca Rhodes went on Ella's call last night, and he put this link in the chat, which is really important. I'm trying to think if there's any updates on my personal situation. I guess the main word that sums up, how I'm doing right now is just surviving. I'm surviving. I am gonna be really. I'm looking into direct cranial stimulation. I might go over some of that in this video. However, I feel like crap. So I'm. Oh yeah, I wanted to also say I feel like crap. So I'll go over as much as I can because I have a lot of stuff that I want to go over. Some stuff that Patrick put in, a bunch of links. I'll probably go over just this one, but then I'm gonna go over the other links that he put in on another video, and then I wanted to go over a lot about direct cranial stimulation. I wanted to say I made a video last Sunday, and it was kind of an inspirational video. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It was an inspirational video, but like I put movie clips that kind of inspired me. I kind of kept them with me in my heart, and I felt like it was kind of God winking at me. And these movie clips that I got were on YouTube. It's like I looked them up on YouTube, so I was playing them through YouTube channels, and I did about, I don't know, it was like 6 clips or something like that. Just talking about how it kind of felt like a metaphor for targeting some of the scenes, and I kind of kept them with me to give me inspiration. In the video, I knew it was not going to be monetized. Like I knew that, and like I sort of monetize my videos. I do the first two. I do the first two monetizations, and so, but I knew this wasn't going to be monetized because of the movie clips. I was like, okay, fine, they're copyrighted, it won't be monetized. But they totally made the whole video, like YouTube made the video unviewable. Like, so it's on my channel, I think in my uploads. If you guys go in there, some people got to it. Like 4 people actually saw it, but it's not like on my channel. So I don't know what's going on. If you guys do want to watch it, you can go to Kyle TI on Facebook, and it's going to be on there because I did put it on Facebook. I don't know if they made it unviewable on there, or I don't know if that's the word, unviewable, but they make it so it's not visible on my channel. So I don't even know how people got to it, but a couple of people did. I was also thinking about, and it's just a little video. It was something kind of fun and inspirational, and I was doing it because then I was thinking about doing some movie clips for that are, and man, I'm having a hard time. Like my head feels like it just caved in, and my memory's really bad, so I'm having a hard time with words. But and I forgot what I was talking about. I seriously just forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I wanted to do like predictive programming videos and like show videos from Control Factor, Metropia, other movies like Captain America, The Winter Soldier is huge. If you're a targeted individual, watch that movie because there's so many things about targeting. It's targeting and mind control in NLP. So I wanted to show clips from those, for a couple of things, for a couple of reasons. But I don't think I am. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I was ready for the demonetization. I was like, yeah, they're going to demonetize it, but I wasn't ready for them just completely blocking the video so nobody could see it. I didn't know that would happen. And it's weird because the videos that I was showing were shown on YouTube by these independent channels that were showing clips from these movies. So I don't see how they didn't get their videos so that nobody could see them. I don't know. What I was thinking of doing. I don't know if I just said this. Like I seriously don't remember if I just said what I'm about to say. But I was going to do a live stream where I don't think I've said. God, wow, I'm doing bad. My mind just like I do feel physically horrible, but I've had a lot of trouble with my memory where I can't remember. Like I'm playing this video game. This is just an example. There's some real stuff, but I'm playing this video game, and like in the video game, you'll mark a place on your map so that you know the next thing that you're gonna go do. And I'll like mark a place on my map, and then I'll go to the regular screen, and I'll be like, where was I going? Like I do over and over and over again. And there's other things in real life, not just video games. But I'm having a hard time remembering moment for moment. That's kind of why I haven't been making a lot of videos because I'm like, well, I forget where I was in my head. This is shitty stuff. But yeah, so I was gonna do a live stream. With that. Just put that video up and see if they make it visible if I do a live stream with it. I don't know. I may do that like this weekend. But you can go to Kyle TI and view that. And it was just a fun little thing. And I don't really care that it does feel like they're like on some other channels they probably would have let it go through and just demonetize it. It feels like I'm getting strikes and things on my channel, like somebody's watchdogging it. It really feels like that. And I know that, like, I try not to think like that. I'm just like, okay, those are YouTube's rules or whatever that I just didn't know about. But it really feels like somebody's trying to stop anything by any little rule that they can shut down one of my videos. They're using that. YouTube is using that, or somebody's like contacting them or something like that. It really feels like that. I'm trying to kind of push that feeling aside and kind of move forward. But okay, that's all I wanted to do there. Basically talking about that. I'm sorry. Like I thought you could show if you're showing a video from YouTube. I thought that they would maybe copyright it. It would be copyrighted, demonetized, but it would still go out. And also, it's like they're demonetizing. They demonetized the video where I was doing the article about the China consulate. Like I just read an article about the China consulate, and they demonetized that. And then like I don't really keep up with that, so they probably demonetized and put strikes against a lot of my videos that I don't even know about. But let's go ahead. I want to get into this. This is really important. We all need to be contacting these people. I still wanted to contact James E. Adorno. I'm trying to get in touch with people at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm not doing a good job. Because I just feel so sick, and I feel like I'm having a hard time saying what I want to say. So I'm like, and then I have this thing where I'm like, they're not going to help us. They're not going to help us, so why call? And I really got to get over that and just do it because you never know what will happen. But I have that block where I'm like, I've been wanting to call the FBI because I used to call the FBI a lot and just report. And then they said they were doing an investigation. Just keep in contact with them. But I've stopped doing that because I'm just like conditioned to just be like, they're not going to help us. And I've got to get past that and get back into contacting people that might be able to help us with something. These people I am going to contact because I think they're the best people to help us. The Alliance for Human Research Protection. Thank you, Patrick, for putting this link on Ella's call. These people are a watchdog group to look out for violations with non-consensual human experimentations. So you see this, and I hope y'all can see you go to ahrp.org. So ahrp.org, and it's like this is the page where it's the dark side of science, unconscionable human experimentations, a chronology. So they go through a chronology of experiments before Nuremberg, Nazi medical atrocities between 1932 to 1945, Japanese medical atrocities 1930 through 1945. And some of the Japanese atrocities, they would freeze people's extremities off. They would just cut people open and see how long they could live. Those were disgusting, and I'm not sure what those experiments were called. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but those were abhorrent. And I might do. I don't know if I want to show any imagery from that, but I might do a video. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. It's kind of weird. It's like when I first started making the videos, I knew I was target, and it was extremely painful, and I was going through that just shock of knowing what was going on. And I was making videos, and every time I make a video, it's like I was like, this could be the last one. It was really just a cry for help. Hey everybody, let's fight, and fight till you're last and everything. It's weird, and I didn't really plan that far ahead. Like I wasn't like, oh man, these are all the things that I want to talk about. I was just kind of like video to video, hey, help us, I'm dying and stuff like that. And it's weird because now I'm beyond horror with the pain and my, and just being so tired. And I'm like, man, I want to talk about so much, and I'm trying to plan stuff out. So it's very weird. It's very weird how that works. But never give up, never surrender, so but we need to start. I'm going to go to the about page and give the number and everything like that in the email so we can start contacting them. These are people that I will not hesitate to contact. Like the guy who did the presentation in Austin, Texas, about neurotechnology. I'm kind of hesitating because I'm just like, he's not going to help us. And like I said, I'm trying to get past this, but this one doesn't even have to do with this. This is right. This is an organization that tries to protect people like us. And so I'm sure that they know about this already because they got, let's go through Japanese medical atrocities, Part 4, U.S. atrocities, World War II and the Cold War, Operation Paperclip, U.S. soldiers, poison chemicals, radiation experiments, Part 7, and ours is kind of radiation experiments, non-ionizing microwave radiation, but it's more about affecting the mind and the nervous system and how people react to torture and things like that. Then the CIA mind control 1950 to 1980, CIA torture experiments 2002, and then innocent children victimized part 10. So I think it's there's like a little article about all these, and then there's recent experiments 1980 to date. I kind of want to go to that one and look it up, but please come to this website, check these guys out, and I'm going to give the contact information. I want to just slow down. Whenever I do a video, I'm like, yeah, I want to go through this, and what was I talking about? And I just need, because my energy level's so bad, I just need to slow down and take things one at a time and drink a Red Bull. It was weird. I was watching one of Steve's videos, and he was saying how perps drink Mountain Dew and Red Bull. I don't think that he was like, I don't think he was trying to say that I was a perp or anything. But he's like saying that perps drink Red Bull and Mountain Dew because do weapons, and he's saying like Red Bull is like because they keep us awake, and so that's a signal for that. But I drink Mountain Dew and Red Bull because I'm so low energy. I have such a, I don't, it's weird. It's like I'm not a low energy person. not naturally low energy, but because I'm being tortured, I feel like I'm low energy. And I drink them just because I know that they have a lot of sugar. It's probably not the best thing in the long run, but I feel like it gives me energy for the time being. Um, but that was weird. I was just like watching this video, and then there was a comment in the comment section. A guy was like, "Yeah, perpetrators always drink Mountain Dew and Red Bull because the Red Bull signifies them keeping us awake at night, keeping us up at night." And I was like, well, I drink both of those, and I'm not a perp. I'm not doing it to perp anybody. Um, I don't know. I think some of those things, like the little details of what everybody does, like the color stuff and things like that, like the color harassment and hand harassment and like echoing. Like I'll give you an example. Like and this isn't anything like I'm not trying to like I can't even think of the word. I'm not trying to be mean to Romola at all, but she was saying like Dr. Horton was echo stalking her, like that Dr. Horton would do things exactly like her, or she would plug in her thing and Dr. Horton would do that. And I realized that when I'm with a friend or somebody like that and they say something like they're like, hey, I'm feeling really tired today. I'll be like, yeah, I'm feeling really tired too. And you just do that to connect with them. And then the color thing, like everybody wears red. Everybody wears all these different colors because that's what clothes are colored that way. So the gang stalking, when they're trying to signal with colors or something, it gets mixed in with people normally doing that. So I try and stay away from those things that are just everybody does. Like everybody makes hand movements when they talk. Everybody waves away their hair when they talk and stuff like that. They fix themselves up. And it could be, like, I mean, there could be instances where that is neurolinguistic programming or they're trying to signal you or something like that. But it gets mixed in with people doing it normally. So I think that people are just going to drive themselves crazy if they're like, oh, well, perps drink Mountain Dew and Red Bull. Like, Mountain Dew and Red Bull are like the most popular drink. Like, Mountain Dew is the most popular non-cola probably in the world. And Red Bull, everybody drinks that. So you're going to think that everybody's a gang stalker. Those things, I don't know. I mean, I know that they do gang stalk using certain things like that. But it gets mixed in too much with people just regularly doing it. So you're gonna, if you do go on that, where you're like, okay, people are doing that little signal or movement or something like that, you're gonna probably 60% of the people that you see doing that, you're gonna mistakenly think they're gang stalkers and they're not. So I don't know, I try and kind of stay away from that stuff, fight the big stuff. We get caught down in those little mundane details of getting bothered by those. You're just going to be constantly driving yourself crazy by looking into those things. And that's just, I mean, that's how I deal with this. You guys leave in the comments. Also, it's like, I was just thinking today, I was like, I have a hard time understanding family members being involved in this because my family is so good. Like they're so good, and if they were told about this, they would give their life instead before they would die before cooperating with this, and that's why they're also being targeted. So there are some things that I do and that I experience with my targeting that when other TIs talk about it, I have a hard time understanding it. I guess those two things are separate though. The parents and family being involved, and then color coding and things like that being used because those things do happen to me too. The color combinations and stuff like that. Just how I deal with them. Just logically, we need to fight this on a larger scale. And if you're saying in your head, okay, there are some people who wear red shirts who are perps, and they're doing that maybe and they're going to use that more if it bothers you, but then it's like I wear a red shirt on a lot of my videos. Actually, red is my color. Like I have brown eyes and black hair. My mom does colors. Like she used to own a clothing shop and she does it. So red is like actually my color. It's the color that looks best on me. And I wear red a lot just because that's the kind of shirts I have. But I'm not a perp, So if you're thinking that everybody who wears red is a perp, you're gonna think that I'm a perp, and I'm not. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like it gets mixed in. So to ignore it is the most logical solution, because if you ignore it, then they won't use it as much as a gang stalking tactic, and then normal people who wear the stuff, you won't think they're gang stalkers. So just a logical thing. And I've gotten way off topic, so let's get back on topic. I really just wanted to talk about the Steve video, because he was saying that perpetrators drink Mountain Dew and Red Bull, and I drink Mountain Dew and Red Bull. I was always like, when he says stuff like that, I always want to leave a comment, but I'm just like, nah. I'm just like, I don't. You know, it's such a small detail, and I know he wasn't like talking about me or anything. So, and this stuff gets complicated. You know, I think that, I'd say like ignore stuff, because it will. We have bigger things to deal with the neurotechnology, the neuro attacks. Gang stalking as a whole, like them doing vehicular stalking, doing all this stuff as a whole, we need to stop that. But the little details of everyday gang stalking, try not to internalize it. Well, and I say that, and I forgot about this, so let me just mention this. I screwed up recently. Well, I didn't. I don't know if I screwed up, but y'all be the judge of it. I had to walk to the convenience store the other night. I think it was like 2 days ago, and I actually was out. I was feeling kind of shitty because I was out of kratom. I'd been out of kratom for a couple of days, but I ordered it from the store, which I'll show you all the store. So it's a pretty good store to get kratom from. So I was feeling agitated. I was just feeling agitated, and I was like, man, I can't go get kratom because my car's broken down. Just feeling shitty. And I went to the convenience store. I had to get like a thing of Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew weapons. But I got the I got the Mountain Dew, and I was carrying everything back, and I had to like walk. I was like sweating because there was so much stuff to carry. I had to get food and toilet paper and everything from the stupid convenience store. And so I was walking back, and then I had to go get my backpack out of the car, because I brought my backpack to the car so nobody'd come into my place and mess with my supplements and stuff. This stuff is crazy. This stuff is crazy. But so I went back to get my book bag, and I was walking back in, and this guy, he was a younger guy, probably in his mid-20s or something like that, walking with this girl, and he had a full suit of like reflective, like neon reflective. It was on his pants and his shirt. And he wasn't going to work or anything, because it was like 9 o'clock at night. It looked like they were maybe just going walking or something like that. And like they both kind of like were just really acting very weird around me. And the guy like walked too close to me, like he was trying to brush up against me. So I was in this pissed off state. Probably if I was in a better state, like if I was in a better mood, I would have just not done anything. But I took my shoulder and I just went Gah! And I like hit him like really hard. He dropped his keys, and I just kept walking, because I was like, dude, that guy is a gang stalker. Like, he's wearing full neon garb to go outside. And they both were kind of like looking at me, and then they kind of looked down and looked at each other like they were doing something. And so I hit him as hard as I could with my shoulder. And he goes, oh, you got no respect, and blah, blah. So I turned around, and I walked back, and I was like, what did you say to me? And like, we were up in each other's faces. I was like, I didn't say anything like, oh, you're a gang stalker or anything. I'm not even 100% sure. I had my suspicions, but I'm not 100% sure. Y'all give me your opinions in the comment section. But he was like, you just ran right into me, and you got no respect. And I go, well, yeah, man, yeah, you were like, I was just walking here, and you like you were like walking really close. You shouldn't have been walking so close. And he was like, dude, no, you hit me. And I go, I just like looked at him, and he was like a younger guy, and I go, I'm sorry. Like, I said it like that. I was like, I'm sorry. And he was like, well, thank you. And then we shook hands, and I walked off. And I kind of felt like I started thinking after that. I was like, that's how they get us. Like, we always have to feel bad. Like, they're doing gang stalking crap, then we react to it, and then well, this is with me. I don't know about a lot of you, but I don't like it when I'm like aggressive or mad or something like that. So I always like this is this story is a good example of why I react to gang stalking like I do, why I try and ignore it. Because when I did that, for like a couple of hours after that, I was like, man, that guy was just a young guy. Maybe he wasn't a gang stalker. And I felt bad. Like, it made me feel bad because that's the type of person I am. Like, I don't like doing that stuff. I don't like, unless somebody is blatantly, like, trying to murder me or blatantly, like, pushing me out of nowhere. Well, he was kind of doing that. But I don't know. I'm the type of guy where that stuff makes me feel bad. It just makes me feel like, wow, that guy's a young guy. Even if he was a gang stalker, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I should have just ignored it, because ignoring it just, then they have no reason to gang stalk anymore. Maybe now because of that, he might gang stalk me more. So that's why I take the tact of just ignoring it, because that's the way that you're going to get more relief from it, where they're not going to be able to justify doing it as much. The people who do it might start thinking, well, he's not a bad guy, he's not reacting, he's not crazy or anything. Like, those people, if they were gang stalkers, they're like, oh, I know exactly what they're thinking. If they were gang stalkers, they're like, that's why he's being watched, because he's crazy and stuff like that. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. I was in such I could not have made a different decision. Like, I would have bumped, because he like rubbed up against me. He was walking so close, trying to get me off of the sidewalk, and I was just like, fuck it, boom, knocked his keys out of his hand and stuff like that. But I did apologize, because he's just a young guy. He just looked like he didn't know anything. But full neon, that neon reflective garb that he was wearing, and they were acting extremely weird. Didn't like say hi or anything. They were kind of like talking to each other, and then just didn't really look at me. And then he tried to rub up against me, like he was trying to bump me, but not as ferociously as I went boom. So things haven't been going great lately, obviously. And when I talk about like ignoring gang stalking and ignoring things that people do, maybe to trip you up or aggravate you, I'm not perfect. I like that story. I made a mistake when I say like it's best to ignore it because you will feel better about yourself. There will be less justification for them to do it. It's just the most strategic tactic to fight against it. It's this stuff is, and I've said this a million times, this stuff with gang stalking and even the neuro attacks, the neurotechnology attacks and the directed energy weapon attacks, this is counterintuitive. The most successful way to fight this stuff is very counterintuitive, because think about it. Gang stalking, the neurotechnology they're using on us, these people up at the top that are studying how to aggravate human beings, they're studying how to aggravate human beings, like how humans are going to react to that, what their instinct is going to do. So your initial instinct for conflict and things like that might not be the best way. Counterintuitive, like counterinstinctual things that they're not expecting a human being to do, because they go off of what's a human being going to do in this situation. Are they going to, they're probably going to bump into that guy, and that's what we want. But if they say hey, sorry, hey, or just walk around, that's counterintuitive approach. So I don't know. That's just kind of, think about strategy when you're dealing with this stuff. Long-term strategy of how you can keep mentally more comfortable and physically more comfortable. So I don't know why I got off on all that, but it was a really funny story. It ended up like, because I was like, I'm sorry, and he was like, oh, okay, well, thanks, man. And then we just shook hands. It could have, like, if he was a gang stalker, it could have actually changed his mind. He was like, maybe that guy's going through something, and I'm not going to gang stalk him. I don't know. Okay, so where was I? Let's go to this recent experiments, 1980 to date. And my mind is very choppy right now, and I'm having a hard time because I wanted to talk about certain things in an order, but it never happens. Never happens like that. So I gotta just do it how I do it. Do what I do. I do what I do. I did shave for you guys. It's kind of, it's a little, it's like, it's about 1 day. I like it at 1 day. It's pretty good. Oh, my hair is just horrible. I'm gonna need to do a cleansing bath tonight. Get ready for hell tomorrow. Like, get going with my parents to like try and find cars. I'm gonna have to get the cheapest one I can find. But it'll be cool. Maybe I can do some more videos in my car. That my other car, just like when I drove it, like shakes all the time, so I can't even make videos in it anymore. I couldn't show vehicular stalking and stuff like that. So maybe I can do some more of that. You know, I can just take my camera out when I drive. All right, let's move on. I've been babbling too much. That's why I love these videos. I can get out a lot of the stuff that I'm going through. It really helps me. So people who like, you need an outlet, this is a great outlet, you know, and you're talking to people who understand, because I know all the guys and gals who watch my video, guys and gals, you guys and gals, all the men and women who watch my videos, you know, they understand this stuff. So let's check this out. Recent experiments 1980 to date. Is it not bringing? Okay, unethical to 2010. Non-consensual medical experiments expose patients to risk of death. Yes, medical apartheid. Let's read this. Introduction: Unethical medical experience from 1980 to 2010. And this is biomedical. The whole discipline of biomedical ethics rises from the ashes of the Holocaust. And that's Arthur Kaplan, the Nuremberg Code, 1947. Laid the foundation for biomedical ethics, mandating that medical experiments conducted on human beings must conform to well-defined humane ethical standards, which our torture is not. It's not humane or ethical in any way whatsoever. It's the most unethical thing probably done in human history. Foremost is, does it continue? Let's see if it continues here. I guess it was like a part of the, let's go ahead and read it. Introduction: Unethical medical experience in 1980 to 2010, the whole discipline of okay, so we heard that. Okay, here it is. Foremost is immutable standard. It was right at the beginning. Duh, Kyle. The voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. The information sought is unprocurable by other methods or means of study. Wait, let me read that over. What is it? The voluntary consent of the human subject. Okay, this is the standard, immutable standard of ethics standards of human experimentation. Informed consent experimentation. The voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. Targeted individuals have not consented to shit. We do not consent to this, to being murdered, to our brains being fried and pulsed with nerve pain. The information sought is unprocurable by other methods or means of study, which probably they could learn a lot about this by voluntary. They could probably learn more about it by just doing it on monkeys or something. But I guess that's also, you know, those monkeys can't consent either. So I don't know about that. The anticipated results will justify the performance of the experiment. The experiment is designed to avoid all unnecessarily physical and mental suffering or injury. Ha ha ha. Yeah, like our torture is, unnecessarily physical and mental suffering. I think that's the whole point of our experimentation that's going on with us. Risks to subjects be minimized to protect against even remote possibilities of injury, disability, and death. They're trying to cause injury, disability, and death to us, to target individuals. So our targeting and the non-consensual human experimentation going on to us, it goes against everything. It goes against the Nuremberg Code, obviously. It goes against everything of the Nuremberg Code. The Nuremberg Code makes clear that ethical standards protecting individual human rights supersede arguments invoking the greater good of society. that's important because a lot of these people targeting us, the contractors are like, well, we've got to learn about these weapons, blah blah blah. And you look at the Nuremberg Code, so you say, well, okay, well, if America didn't experiment with these weapons, then Russia and China, they would get a heads up, and they would have better weapons that would put all of America in danger or whatever. But the Nuremberg Code applies to all countries. It applies to Russia. It applies to China. It applies to anybody in this kind of competition, this Cold War neurotech competition. Cold War neurotech race, or neuro weapons race, I guess would be a good way to say it. The Declaration of Helsinki 1964 expanded on the requirement of full disclosure. What these people are doing is not only immoral, like what all these people are doing, this non-consensual human experimentation, people involved in it, they're not only doing something immoral, they're doing something against a world law. These treaties and these declarations, and the Nuremberg Code, they all these countries agreed. They agreed to follow these. So they are breaking a world law, like a world law, a world moral standard for humans and how they act. So they're doing worse than just breaking, our country's code of ethics, our country's code of laws. They're breaking a world pact, how to treat human beings. Okay, the Declaration of Helsinki, 1964, expanded on a requirement of full disclosure. And cigarette break. This, I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not. This video brought to you by electronic cigarettes. This video also brought to you by Red Bull. It keeps me awake. By Red Bull and by Mountain Dew, but I don't have a Mountain Dew with me. I'm not a perp, so I just drink this because it gives me energy. I guess I find it funny that people would think that people drinking a cold drink is some kind of signal of gang stalking. I guess it could be in certain gang stalking protocols for certain people, but if you do have that protocol of when people drink a certain cold drink, then it's like it's supposed to agitate you, then just forget about it, because everybody drinks cold drinks. Like non-gang stalkers drink a lot of different kind of cold drinks. I don't know. It was just kind of like it was a WTF moment for me, where I was like, huh? What? I drink those drinks all the time, and like I'm putting out tons of good information. And if you watch my videos, like if you've watched the beginning videos, if you think that I'm like an actor or something, then you're crazy. And I'm saying that in the nicest way possible. If you watch all of my videos and you think that I'm some kind of actor or COINTELPRO putting this stuff out, then you really are not going to be able to figure out anything about this. I'm sorry if I've hurt anybody's feelings, people who do maybe think I'm COINTELPRO or something, but that is a leap to make, to think that I'm COINTELPRO. But I know, like, I sometimes not prepare for that, but I'm not surprised. Like when people are like, "Hey, you're a fake TI," you're able to make videos and you live in a condo. You're a fake TI. Like I'm kind of prepared for that, because a lot of people think that everybody doing anything, like, and I know I actually do think there are some COINTELPRO people doing some stuff, and I'm not going to get into detail on that, but what was I going to say? It's just some targeted individuals. Just if anybody's doing anything, and they think that they're put out there, they're COINTELPRO. Yeah, basically. There is COINTELPRO on the calls. I don't see it, like I've said this a lot, I don't see it so much on the YouTube videos though. I see a lot of misinformation, or targets that are in so much pain and stuff that they're kind of talking nonsense, to me at least. But I don't see a lot of people that I think were set up to do that. I guess maybe, well, I don't want to do that, but I just think I've told y'all this before with the COINTELPRO. We need to read. We need to. I may do that. I may go through some COINTELPRO tactics of the CIA, things that they've written down about what they're doing and stuff like that, so we can get a more concrete what are they capable of. I think the problem with our targeting is we know how far they'll go with these directed energy weapons and gang stalking, that we're not sure how far they'll go with fake people coming in, and how fake they would be, and how if they would make up, how much of a story they would make up, to get in misinformation, or trying to control the narrative, or try and get information from targeted individuals and stuff like that. Get information or gaslight on calls. I've been gaslighted on calls, and I called the guy out on it. I said, "How'd you know?" Like, I'll give you all the example, and he probably knows. He probably watches some of my videos. And I just have a lot of questions about him. Like, let me give you all an example. I watched the movie Venom. I watched the movie Venom like on a Monday, and then I went on Ella's Call Tuesday. Right when I got into the chat room, I said, "Hey, how's everybody doing?" I didn't talk about the movie or anything, and the guy goes, this guy that I have a lot of questions about. He goes, "Hey, are we ready to use our symbiote?" No, he said, "Kyle, I've got my symbiote ready." And a symbiote is what Venom is, and they use that word in the movie a lot. And I go, "Hey man, I watched that movie yesterday. That's weird that you would say symbiote, right the first thing you say to me." And I go, why did you say that?" And he goes, "Oh, it must have been my symbiote sense." He didn't say like, "Hey, oh, that was just a coincidence. I just knew that you like comic books, so I mentioned that," because Venom had come out like months before. It wasn't opening night or something. So if it was like opening night, I could have assumed that maybe he knew that I saw it or something like that. But it wasn't like that. And he's done many things like that, going off of what I've done the day before. And it's a gaslight. What to me what it is he's saying, "Hey, I'm not a targeted individual, and I'm going to gaslight you so you know you can't do shit about it." Because I've talked to some people, and I'm like, "Hey, this is weird." But if I came out on a call and I was like, "Hey, this guy is he's a perp. He's not a targeted individual," you get half of the people, or like 30% of the people, going, "Hey, Kyle, you're right," and then you get like 50% to 70% of the people going, "Oh no, no, no," and they protect him, and it would just divide people. So COINTELPRO is very, very hard to deal with. And my thing, and I know there are different ways to deal with things, and we'll come up with better ways. But right now, my thing is go up the field. Go up the field, knock those people off, do your thing, get your information out, screw them. Screw them, try and stay away from them. If you have questions about people, just stay away from them. Go up the field. Where the cart's going to have to come before the horse, because the more that we progress and get things going, the more that those people aren't going to matter, and they're not going to be able to affect things. Um, so okay, I kind of went off on that. And he probably watches some of my videos, and I've talked to him about this. Like there was a day where I guess I guess is a good example. But there was a day where my mom came over to my apartment, and it was like on a Wednesday or a Monday or something like that. We cleaned my place. My mom helped me clean my place. Then I went on the call, and the same guy, I was like, "Yeah, my parents came into town this weekend. It was pretty cool." And he was like, "Well, at least you got your place clean." He said, "At least he chatted back to me, at least you got your place clean." And I go, "Yeah, we did clean my place. Like, why would you say that? How do you know that?" And he was like, "Oh, I assume when your parents come over that you clean your place, because I do." So he kind of got out of it on that. It was like this subtle thing. But I've talked about my parents many, many times before, and he's never said, "Hey, at least you got your place clean." So I get stuff like that all the time, and it's very obvious. But to deal with it, to actually deal with it, is complicated. So I'm just like, boom, go up the field, just try and kind of like I still say hey to him and stuff like that, but I just try and kind of give it a wide berth. Because if I just came out and said, and I guess you can, what you can do, the best thing that you can do is your targeted individual friends, mention it to them, talk to them about it. So at least the people that you're very close to, you're letting them know about your doubts or your suspicions, and then they can talk about it and they can be like, okay, well, no, I haven't had anything like that from that person. So I feel like that's the best. One of the best things to do is ignore it, but tell the people that you're close to, target individuals that you're close to, so at least they can be looking out for it too. And then and then it can that can So all right, how do I go into that? How do I snowball into? Because I was just talking about Mountain Dew and Red Bull and how on Steve's video, and I love Steve, man. I think he's really getting targeted really hard. He's got a lot of neuro weapons. He's being hit with extreme neuro weapons. He's being hit with tortured severely. And I really, he's a brave guy and he keeps speaking out. I just think and I don't want to say any, I don't agree with everything he says. But the thing is, it overrides anything that I disagree with, that he's courageous, he's being hurt so bad, and he's still speaking out. It overrides anything where I'm like, ooh, maybe you shouldn't have done that, Steve, or because he's being hurt really bad and he just keeps going, and that's courageous to me. I think sometimes when people dislike his videos, he's like, oh, I got 5 dislikes, oh, bring it on. It shows that he kind of it bothers him, so then people will keep doing that. But I need to talk to Steve and see how he's doing. But well, I mean, he does a lot of videos, so I think he's getting tortured very hard, and he's still the main thing is he still marches on and gets information out, and he fights this, and that is awesome to me. And I think we're all going to disagree on stuff. We're all going to have our heads being twisted around, so we're trying to get the information out, and sometimes it's hard. I guess that's all I want to say about that. And like, Steve, if you're watching this video, like, I only talk about you because I like you. Like, it's like Jeremiah Cohen. Like, I'll sometimes talk about him, and like, I only talk about people if I care about them. If I care about what they're doing. So I care about you, man, and you're doing a good job. And I really wish, I hope that you're using some of these things like Dave Case's CD, the grounding, some kind of passive shielding, supplements. A lot of supplements can help this, and then the cleansing baths. Please use stuff to defend, because it can make you can clear your head. It can give you a lot more comfort, and that goes for everybody. That goes for everybody to use some of these things, because and I'm coming up with I'm gonna start really looking into direct cranial stimulation. I'm gonna look at some of the best things that we can get for the cheapest. I'm really gonna be looking into that. I may read a little bit about it on this video. I really didn't want to go this long, but I've been just kind of getting everything out. I'm really anxious because I've got to get a new car. And I'm anxious because this goes on and on and on, and I feel like I'm losing a lot of mental capacity. And this stuff is so complicated even to normal people. Even normal people, would have such a hard time sussing through all this stuff. Our heads are being microwaved, and we're supposed to figure out the most complicated conspiracy basically in our world at this time, if not in all of history. So I think we're all doing a great job. So when I talk about people, if Jeremiah Cohen or Steve or anybody, I don't mean to insult or anything like that. Now I just want to tell. Okay, this is what I do want to say though, Steve. I drink Red Bull and Mountain Dew, and I'm not a perp. So I guess I do want to tell them that. And then the person that left the comment, I want to tell them that too. I'm such a dork. Okay, so let's carry on. Oh, and I just drank Red Bull. This video brought to you by a glob of gray stuff. All right, in medical research involving competent human subjects, Each potential subject must be adequately informed of the aims, methods, sources of funding, any possible conflicts of interest, institutional affiliations of the researcher, the anticipated benefits and potential risks of the study, and the discomfort it may entail, and any other relevant aspects of the study. In any medical study, every patient, including those of a control group, if any, should be assured of the best proven diagnostic and therapeutic method. World Medical Association, 1964, 1996, and 2000. 30 years after the Nuremberg Code, the United States was confronted with the infamous Tuskegee syphilis experiment, which resulted in the government forging ethical research principles. The Belmont Report, 1978-1979, provided the template for the Code of Federal Regulations, followed by the Common Rule. The overwhelming evidence that these ethical principles were much more frequently honored in their breach than in their observance. The record is clear. Yeah, so what they're saying is these laws kind of found the people who were breaking them more than people observing the laws. You know, like MK Ultra and probably many other experiments in other countries. The record is clear. Dubious medical experiments that failed to meet medical ethical standards have been and are currently approved not only by commercial corporate entities, but by academic and government review boards and institutions whose mandate is to ensure that the safety and rights of human subjects are protected. Have been and are currently approved. The record is clear. Dubious medical experiments that failed to meet medical ethical standards have been and are currently approved, not only by commercial corporate entities. Oh, okay, so they're saying that these experiments, these dubious experiments, are not only approved by commercial corporate entities, but by academic and government review boards and institutions whose mandate is to ensure that the safety and rights of human subjects are protected. So a lot of these, people who are trying to make sure that there's ethical, they're approving unethical experimentation. That's great. Yeah, and I mean, how else would this be working? How else would they be torturing us? Conflicts of interest rather than ideologies have derailed medicine from its ethical tradition. The entire field of medical research is now permeated by conflicts of interest. All major academic institutions, government agencies, including the National Institute of Health, the Food and Drug Administration, the Center for Disease Control, the Environmental Protection Agency, are dependent upon major corporate money. Thus, Thus, business ethics has usurped medical ethics. That's a yes. That is a very true statement. Read doing harm to the most vulnerable. Read NIH under fire. Read research center tied to drug company. Read CDC covertly tested experimental vaccine on Black Latino babies. Wow. The only redress and reliable source of information comes from litigation when primary secret documents are uncovered during the discovery process. Read over here and here. Finally, unless they are stopped, medical research stakeholders seek to overturn informed consent. Medical research stakeholders seek to overturn informed consent. Well, I mean, they have basically. They just don't talk about it, you know. So this is a good site, and these are people that we need to contact. I'm going to go to the About page. The Alliance for Human Research Protection. Thank you very much, Patrick. And he has there's two other things. I don't think I'm going to go over them on this video. But this one, psychologists are standing up against torture at Gitmo. I think I want to read that on one of my other videos. But let's go to the About section here. Let's read their mission statement. Yeah, let's read their mission statement, and then we'll get the information how we can contact them. That's a long mission statement. Let me read just the first part, I guess. Okay, let's read the first part. About the Alliance for Human Research Protection. Mission statement. The Alliance for Human Research Protection, AHRP, is a national network of lay people and professionals dedicated to advancing responsible and ethical medical research practices, to minimizing the risks associated with such endeavors, and to ensuring that the human rights, dignity, and welfare of human subjects are protected. So they need to be helping us because we are being subjected to non-consensual human experimentation. And that I know this has other angles to it, guys, besides just human experimentation. But it is, and a big percentage of it is non-consensual human experimentation for research and development, but so we need to call it that. We need to call it that. So people like this can help us. Medical research is not standard medical care. Research involves uncertainty and therefore risk. Treatment is determined by a protocol that seeks to resolve uncertainty and contribute to generalizable knowledge, not necessarily in the best interests of the individual subject. The Alliance for Human Research Protection recommends 5 essential safeguards for all human subjects in clinical trials. Okay, so let's go to how do we contact them. What? Okay, so we can't contact them? What? So they haven't put in how to contact them? Alliance for Human Research Protection. They do have... What? Well, okay, here's Alliance for Human Research Protection. It does have an address. So 142 West End Avenue, Suite 28P, New York, New York, 10023. And let's do this random quote. We must denounce the inhumane distinction between a worthy and an unworthy life. Every human life is valuable. That's the message of this T4 Euthanasia Memorial. The T4 Memorial confronts us today with the harrowing Nazi ideology of presuming life can be measured by usefulness. Monica Greters, Germany's Minister for Culture and Media. All human life is precious and has a destiny. All human life. Okay, so maybe I'll just refresh it. Just refresh it. So I'm gonna have to find that contact, or maybe you guys look it up and put it in the comments. If any of you guys can find the contact information for Alliance for Human Research Protection, please put it in the comments. I'll try and find it and I'll put it in the comments if I do. Okay. So let's see. That's pretty long. I've already been going for an hour because of my blabbing. Immoral experiments. Let's see if they have anything about what we're going through. Monster experiment. Well, I'm sure that some of us have already contacted them in the past, and maybe we can get on their website. We can talk about it to them, see if they're trying to do anything to help us, ask them to help us, and then see if they can maybe put our situation on their website. I don't know, let's go to current controversies and see. Let's go here. Cochrane Science Reviews tainted by financial COI. Doesn't look like they have anything about neuro weapons research or directed energy weapons. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and I'll go over other information, especially about direct cranial stimulation, maybe on the next video. I did want to let y'all know last night on the Jeff Rentz program, Brian too did an interview with Jeff Rentz. It was great. It was a great interview. And Brian did a great job. And also in the interview, Jeff Rentz was like, "Yeah, I get the burning of the skin." So apparently, I think that Jeff Rentz is also a targeted individual, which is interesting. I have it up on my thing because it was live. It was streaming live, so I just pressed play. But I guess you can go to the archives. It was on 12. Was it 12/21? It was like not tonight, but last night. So it must have been 12/20 on December 20th, 2018. So I guess look for December 20th, 2018. And it was a good interview. So you guys check that out. Man, I don't know if I could give an interview like that, being as messed up as I am from this targeting. Um, and see, I have this stuff. I'm watching The Flash right now. I love The Flash. It pumps me up because he's such like a good superhero, and he can like do anything. He can like stop time and stuff like that. So this is stuff about transcranial direct current stimulation, and I think I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna go over it on my next video. I don't think this video will get it so nobody can see it because I haven't shown any video clips, but I hope it doesn't. But yeah, okay, guys, I'm gonna go over this stuff. I need to look into it more. I'm gonna get something that's cheap, but I think that the thing is, it can be good because our attackers are using direct cranial stimulation. So if we are using a positive direct cranial stimulation, it can like totally block what they're doing or totally interfere. And especially if we can change the frequency. I think all of these, well, I don't know if all of them, but I think a lot of these devices, you can switch the frequency. You can like go through different frequencies. So if you're using one frequency, your attackers kind of adapt to that. Then you can just switch it. So I think this is a huge avenue for us to go down to get some kind of comfort, to get some kind of blocking defense. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things out there, guys. I was listening to Josh. I don't know if you guys know Josh, but he comes on the. I wish I had his website. I showed y'all his website on another video, but he was talking about an ELF antenna, and I need to talk to him about this one. I need to just talk to him. We were supposed to talk a long time ago, and I don't know what happened. I think that I don't know. Like I never did talk to him, but he was talking about an ELF antenna, and I think what that does. I need to talk to him about it. But I think what that does is it absorbs ELF that's coming in. So if you could use that, then like Dave Case's CD, grounding, direct cranial stimulation, we could really buffer a lot of this stuff out that's coming. Some of it could be absorbed by that antenna, and that would be proof too if you're getting a reading on that antenna. I need to talk to him more about that. But my point is, a lot of very smart people are working on the problem. They're working on the problem. They're going through things. They're finding new things. So you guys do the same. Look in direct cranial stimulation. Let's try and get in touch with. With the Alliance for Human Research Protection. I don't have their information because it's not on there, but I'm sure we can find that easily. And we do have their address, but I don't know if I want to just send them paper mail. They don't even have a number. Alright. Oh, and I do want to show you all this at the end. This is CBD Kratom. This is where I ordered my Kratom because I couldn't go to the head shop. It's kind of expensive because I got a lot. But I just wanted to say, if you want to get Kratom and you want it delivered to you, this is a pretty good site. And it was really quick. I got it in like 2 days. I paid $5 for 2 days shipping, and I got it in like 2 days. So it really helped because even though you don't really withdraw from Kratom, I had been taking a lot for the pain, and just was feeling a lot more pain because I didn't have it, which is why. Well, it wasn't why I elbowed the guy. It was elbow, no, shouldered him. That wasn't why I shouldered him. It's just because like he came out exactly when I was coming back. He had a full neon outfit, and he wasn't going to work. And he was like trying to walk really close to me to annoy me. I don't know. I already talked about that. All right, guys, I love y'all. I hope that you're finding comfort. I hope you're finding meaning and purpose in some of the things that you're doing. Try and find things to fight against this. Try and find things that you connect with. You'll find God in those things. You'll find God in good people that you talk to, and keep fighting. Keep fighting. There are so many things that have not totally made this go away for me. But I just, me and somebody the other night, I'm not going to say who it was, but a really good TI friend, we were talking about hope and, about like having hopelessness. And I think a lot of targeted individuals, we've had a lot who have committed suicide, a lot of TIs have committed suicide. And I can honestly say this, guys. Even though this is so much pain, it feels like my brain's been destroyed. It's hard to talk to my family. Constant pain. I wake up and I feel like crap, like worse than crap. But that's just, you guys know, even with all that stuff, because of the grounding thing, because of Dave Case's CD, because of the passive shielding, because I found things that actually do reduce the pain and actually do help to defend against this. I would never. It doesn't even cross my mind. Suicide does not cross my mind. That kind of hopelessness doesn't, because I've seen these miracles. I've seen these defensive things. So please trust me on this. Even if all the stuff that I've told you about defensive things, none of them have worked at all, like at all, and I would find that impossible to believe. But there will be other things like this direct cranial stimulation, certain ELF antennas, that Josh was talking about, many other things. There's hope coming, and I've experienced these things. So I just, try some of these things that I'm talking about. I'm gonna really look into direct cranial stimulation and do some videos on those. And maybe tomorrow, I might take a break tomorrow because I'm gonna have to go with my parents and try and look for a car, and it's gonna be exhausting. So I might not do a video tomorrow, but I might do a live stream. Just get on the live stream, kind of do an introduction, like, hey, doing this live stream on the video that it can't. I forget the wording of it. Just not visible, like they made it invisible, the video. And I might do a live stream with it, so at least people who come to the live stream can see it, and maybe that will trick the YouTube algorithms or something. Really upsets me that I can't show clips from movies and things like that, because it's really transformative. I'm using it to be inspirational, or show inspirational stuff. So it is transformative work with those videos. And I had a lot of plans of doing that, especially for predictive programming in media, in movies, in TV, and things like that. So it really bums me out. I might try a couple. I might try maybe doing 15 seconds or something. I don't know. But I hope all you guys are doing good. Christmas is coming up. I know Derek's doing a call that night. I know probably Ryan's doing a call that night on the conference calls. I'm going to be hanging out with my family with no gifts to give them because I can't go get friggin' gifts. And it's kind of even though I get to hang out with my family, it's a little bit weird because I'm just in so much pain. I've been destroyed so badly by this stuff, and it's hard to be happy and not have my mom having some grandkids to I'm not gonna go into all that. I'm gonna try and have a good Christmas. I hope y'all do too. I'll probably see y'all before Christmas. Even if I just do that other video. But all right, I will stop blabbing, guys. I love y'all. Let's keep fighting. All right, I love y'all. I'll see you on the next one.